But yes, moving forward, we're going to operate on the assumption that you have a well-established template toolkit. You refer to them as templates, assets, artifacts. I promise I will call them templates from here on out. And that is represented by this up here. So you can see this gray rectangle is kind of, represents our toolkit and the items within that. You can see a metadata sheet, a metric sheet, project plan. I'll go ahead and show you what this could look like in the Smartsheet environment. So this is actually the folder that would be our template toolkit. And you can see all those assets right here. So we have our project plan, we have a resourcing asset template, we have a dashboard, a crate log, which we're a big fan of here at Echo, and then the various reports and kind of the background mechanics of what collects the data and pushes it throughout the solution. This all really starts with an intake sheet represented here. And before I go any further, these blue and teal lines represent data flow, teal being one direction, blue being the other direction. But truly, this all starts with your intake sheet and the data that you use to create these projects. Because what Control Center is going to do is take that data and that information from your intake, map it however you've told it to map into your template toolkit, and make a copy of it and make that project.
What are some of the other things that people call intake sheets though, right? Does everyone know what an intake sheet is? So an intake sheet is that initial kind of list of projects that you might have, both projects that may be happening and projects that may not be happening yet, and you're kind of going through that initial prioritization exercise or project selection exercise. So there's many different ways that clients use this, but I do want to be very clear because we use intake. Smartsheet uses the term intake. You'll see in the blueprint it says intake, right? Project intake is usually a project list, a list of projects that are potential projects, as well as projects that are approved. So it's kind of that portfolio list of each project being a separate row. Sorry to interrupt. Keefer, go ahead.
No, that's great. Sometimes I get blinded by assuming people know what I'm referring to. So I pulled up the demo intake that we use and drives this demo solution. And just to Molly's point, you can see there's multiple projects here in different stages of approval. You can see one has actually already been created. But, again, another big value add that Control Center brings to the table is taking this entry level kind of, initial project information and marrying it with all the data that comes along that project throughout its lifespan. That's a tremendous value add by Control Center because it's going to make all those connections. It's going to push all that data where you tell it to push it every single time without you having to do it. It's like 113 steps or something that it does every time it provisions the project, and we love it for it. Diving back into this diagram, the other half of it, I like to think about Control Center as a Xerox machine at its most basic sense. It's just making a copy of a template set, but on the outset of that Xerox machine is where it consolidates and rolls up all the data that we can report on at the portfolio, your program level, whatever you want to do with it. Control Center takes that information from the intake sheet, merges it into the project, and then any data points that you care about throughout that project's lifespan gets all pushed out the other side. And that's what we use for our reporting.